Hi, I'm Susan Godwin, and we're here today to talk about the Advent wreath, which is something we celebrate at Apostles. And I'm here with Jessica Deese this afternoon, and we have some things on the table, one of which is a bag, and that is the Advent wreath bag that you can receive or pick up at Coda so that you can have one at home as well as the one at church. Jessica, could you tell us what you have in front of you today?
I would love to. So the bags will basically be your starter kit for your Advent wreath at home. But we hope that you and your family will make it your own in really exciting and personal ways, which is what our family has done as we've celebrated this tradition in our home. And that's what all of these different things represent, are the different ways that we have made the Advent wreath very personal to our family. But I first wanted to give a shout out that the Advent wreath's history and tradition can be found in the fabulous To Dance with God book that if you are not familiar with it and don't have a copy, I certainly recommend. It's just a beautiful anthology of all of the Christian holy days and feast days and how families can celebrate them more fully in their home. And so as a part of the book, Gertrude, the author, really gives a beautiful history of how the Advent wreath came to be. And I won't tell the full story, but it has to do with a wagon wheel. And you can find the full scoop on page 63. And that is why Coda has a wagon wheel as their Advent wreath, which will be on display starting Advent 1 this Sunday. And it's a giant wagon wheel that will be greened and the candles lit, as each week, as we journey through each week in Advent. So I'm a nerd, and I wanted a wagon wheel just like Coda and just like Gertrude said. And so I found one to use in our home. It's a funny story. My grandmother left with her family and community from a small town in Arkansas when she was a young child on a covered wagon to move to Texas. And I had been on a search for our family wagon wheel for well over a year, going into every little junk teak store I could find with no luck. Every wagon wheel I ever came across was giant. But it was in this small town that my grandmother's family journeyed from that I walked into an antique store, and lo and behold, there was the perfectly sized wagon wheel for our Advent wreath. So that is just, that to me was just such a beautiful, Holy Spirit moment of God just providing a little added spirit to this beautiful tradition. So we use our wagon wheel as the base, and one of these will be in the bag for each of the families, the candle holders. And you can see I've added some fake greenery with a purple ribbon. Purple is the seasonal color of Advent. And so we just set it right there on top of the wagon wheel.
Perfect.
And for the Christ candle, I have a little candle holder for the center. And so each week we go through the readings and light the appropriate candle. There's 3 purple candles. And
so right in line with what's happening at church every Sunday,
so you'll
right?
see the same colors and
it's beautiful.
Same pattern as we will follow at church. We follow at home. And there will also be a small liturgy in the Advent bags as well that you can use with your family as you say the prayers and light the candles. And I love that this is last year's card. It was just a very simple prayer. I have 4 children, so the simpler the better. For us is what works best, and so I kept it. I'm not sure what they're going to provide this year, but I'm happy to if it's something different and you're interested in this brief version, I'm happy to share and make copies. But it's just a simple prayer and lighting, and as you can see, it just makes a beautiful focal point for our whole family. We typically keep it on our kitchen table.
And it's very manageable with kids because it doesn't take a lot of time.
It does not take a lot of time.
They can focus on the lighting of the candle and what's being read, but then they're off to doing something else quite often, right?
Exactly. And I also have some fresh greenery that I do we do add real greenery as Advent progresses, just to make it more beautiful as we're approaching the mystery of Christmas. We add to it so that it is its most beautiful when it's time to light
wonderful.
the Christmas candle,
Yeah.
which is what we also do at the church. So maybe have your children pay attention to what's happening as you come to church each week and you see the Advent wreath there on the grounds. And if you're engaging with that same tradition at home, you can go around the yard each week, and that can be part of the tradition in your home, and part of the wonder and joy of being on the journey, and
the anticipation too. I think it kind of, instead of just being Sunday, it's also at home, and anticipation and building, as you say, each week until we reach Christmas,
and getting them involved and just helping them
probably gather different materials
and to be a part of it, and not to just be on the sidelines watching and not really knowing what's going on. It really is just such a beautiful way to get them into the season in a very tangible way that's just so joyful and beautiful.
It's wonderful.
I will say, I don't want to we certainly have had our challenges, which is why the simpler is better. You know, there have been moments where candle lightings have, there have been who's going to light the candle, and, some stress and struggle, so it isn't perfect.
That's family, though.
But that is real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
And this tradition reflects the reality of Christ, the light of the world. And so trying to find even the beauty in those broken moments where maybe we're not all reverent and pious, and, maybe we are having a little bit of a snippy attitude in the midst of it, that's all part of the story too.
It is. It sounds like Jesus and his disciples too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, very real, nitty gritty. So that's one of the beauties of it, I think, too. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And it's definitely something that every family can implement in every season of life, is what I have found, whether you have children at home or not. If you're a couple and all your kids are flown the nest, or even if you're a grandmother and you're living alone, there's a way to incorporate this into your home in the celebration of Advent.
Yeah, and it's a tradition that you never grow out of. There's always more to grow into, and how you reflect on it, and God can move, through the ritual and the tradition, and open your heart up, and just help you more fully experience the mystery and the wonder and the joy of
and anticipation
and waiting and learning to wait.
Yeah, that's right. Learning to wait. Yes. Well, that's wonderful, and I think that hopefully everybody would be encouraged that no matter what season of life, or if this is the first time they've ever done this, if this is all new to them, that there's a starter kit, and you just have to get started and begin this Sunday, November 29th, and get your starter kit and begin the celebration in a way that reflects your family, your home, and in a way to celebrate and anticipate the birth of Christ.
And I'm also happy to hear that you are going to be encouraging other individuals who may not have family around them, who may be quarantining during this time of COVID, that tell us what you're going to do to help those individuals that might not have a house full of noisy children to do this with.
Well, we're going to try something new this year and do a very simple Zoom video of a very simple every Sunday night around 6 or 6:30, I'm not sure yet when, of just celebration of the way I have it on my table, and how we can participate and enjoy it together. If you're alone at home, if you're a couple that's being quarantined and you don't have family who can come in Sunday night, we'll celebrate together via Zoom.
Yeah, so look for that in the emails from Gabe each week. Will be the link to the Zoom Advent Lighting Collective candle lighting, if that's something you're interested in. I did also want to mention that in this season, we are hoping that you will share pictures of your Advent journey and post it on social media with the hashtag #GetReady. Or if
Oh,
you want
great.
to email your pictures or short videos to Gabe, he can upload those on the church social media pages as well.
Great
To
idea.
again try to help us be together in ways that are virtual when we can't be together
Yes,
in person.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Jessica. This has
Yeah.
been fabulous.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And we hope you'll join us, and we look forward to the first Sunday of Advent coming up this week.
Yeah, let's get ready.
Yeah, get ready.